we're working on that project through a NRCS Conservation Collaborative Grant. It's a 2-year project. And the goal of the project is to use conservation champions as mentors to the historically underserved farmers and ranchers. And one of the things that St. County Foundation is involved in is our Leopold Conservation Award. And so over the history of our program, we now have over 150 Leopold Conservation Award recipients across the nation. And so rather than reinventing the wheel and recruiting all of these new mentors, what we did was propose that we use these Leopold Conservation Award recipients as the mentors to the historically underserved farmers and ranchers to communicate conservation practices that have worked effectively for them, to reduce the number of hurdles that beginning farmers have to overcome in order to be successful, navigating the NRCS cost share system or FSA for that matter. What we're hoping with this land ethic mentorship is that the mentees can use their mentors as that trusted voice, to be able to pick up the phone and ask, how can I overcome this issue that I'm identifying this season? One of the reasons why we're working together with historically underserved farmers and ranchers is because the demographics of farming is really changing. And so when you look at the population, historically underserved producers make up about 40% of all US farms, with beginning farmer operations accounting for that largest proportion. Historically underserved producers often operate on more environmentally sensitive land as well. And that includes land adjacent to impaired water bodies. So when we're looking at advancing conservation practices and where can you get the most impact from a specific practice, working together and communicating the value of conservation to these newer farmers or farmers who haven't been introduced to conservation practices in the past, this is a great way to start to make a change across the landscape. And lastly, what we found is that when federal conservation programs aren't being used by beginning farmers, for example, it's because they don't know about them. And so if we can establish a mentorship, and partner these mentees together with the conservation champions that have already had years of experience navigating the conservation system, they have direct contact with somebody that they can be sharing their knowledge with and their experiences with, so that they have a higher chance of success, reaching their goal of conservation adoption.